Virgin Radio.
Un max de tubes.
I do think in a lot of ways that playing in a festival setting, elevates. The competition is harder, I think, because there's so many bands and there's so many. Not everybody's there to see you. When you're, for example, if you're headlining your own tour, if you're out with a couple bands, the chances of, you being on tour with a band that kind of has a similar fan base or a fan base that you think you can reach. I think that there's still a level of desire to perform at your best, but I think that when you take yourself out of that and drop into a festival setting, for example, when you're earning your stripes, you really need to go out and prove yourself, because 90 to 99% of the people there might be there to see somebody else. And they could care less if you're on the bill or not. So I think that definitely, at least for me, I'm a super competitive person. So, I remember, in our early years, coming to big festivals and just being like, I have to go out there and I have to kick everybody in the face so they remember who we are when they leave. I still have that feeling, there's a lot of people here. Not everybody here is a Linkin Park fan, but hopefully, when we're done, not only will the Linkin Park fans that are here, will they be happy, but hopefully some people that weren't too sure about us before they got here will be converted. I mean, people are going to take this next comment however they want, and there are some people out there who are like Hybrid Theory. I'm talking about Linkin Park fans here, who are like Hybrid Theory purists, and they only want us to do that over and over and over again. So they may disagree with me on this next comment, but I truly feel that 1,000 Suns is the most artistic and the most cerebral and ambitious record that we made. When we made Hybrid Theory, that was the best record we could make at that time in our lives. We've learned so much more in our career that I think we've become better songwriters. I think we've become more confident lyrically. I think we've become more confident artistically. We're willing to take the same kind of chances that we took when we were making Hybrid Theory. When we were making our first record, we weren't making a record to sell records. We weren't trying to achieve something that we had already achieved in the past. We were just innocently making music that we loved and that we wanted to hear. When you come out of the gate and sell your first album, sells so many millions of copies, there is an expectation from a fan's perspective and from also a business perspective that you want to do that again, and keep doing that. But we're not a manufacturer, we don't make car parts, we don't make soup, and we don't can things. We are artists, and we want to push ourselves. And so in that sense, I think that I know that I'm really proud of 1,000 Suns. I'm proud of all the records that we've made, but I think so far, this is probably the only record we've made where I feel like I love every single piece of the album. Woodstock would have been fun, but really gross, and I'm kind of like, there's a gross factor there that kind of turns me off a little bit, but the music would be awesome. I would have to say that I'm really bummed that I missed the very first Lollapalooza. My favorite bands in the world were on that tour, and so that would have been probably for me, just from my life experience, I'd probably want to go back in time and catch those shows for sure. My most memorable was the year that had Ice Cube, Ministry. I think Red Hot Chili Peppers were on that tour, Pearl Jam. There was a band called Smile that was really great. They kind of remind me of Muse. they were a band that could have been, I don't know what happened to those guys. They were awesome. That was a great tour. That was a great festival. But my favorite tour of all time in my life was, I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers play with Nirvana and Pearl Jam, and they were all touring respectively. What my opinion is, would be their best records. Chili Peppers were doing Blood Sugar Sex Magik, Pearl Jam 10, and Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. They were all touring those records at that time, and it was fucking awesome.
Turning point for you?
I was already making music at that point, but that for sure was a moment where I was like, if I, ever prayed to God and said, that's what I want to do, it was at that show. Please let me do this for a living, like these guys. So,
kind of rich.
Yeah, I would say that I think my prayer was answered.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Chester.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Un max de tubes.